وَكَأَيٍّ مِّن نَبِيٍّ قُتِلَ, right? And many prophets was killed. Yeah?
Are you reading Arabic?
Yeah. And here it says وَكَأَيٍّ مِّن نَبِيٍّ قَاتَلَ, and many prophets fought. Which one's right?
Can you say again?
وَكَأَيٍّ مِّن نَبِيٍّ قَاتَلَ, and many prophets fought.
Can you say again?
You're not liking anybody.
Really?
You're not liking them, man. Any Muslims?
Run away again, have
They're running away, man.
They all run
Let's
away.
get
Is
another one.
is it lightweight? Is it lightweight jihad day today then?
So we've got on. Hey, buddy.
Lightweight jihad day.
You Muslim, buddy?
There we go.
Look, this is a difference in the Quran, right? وَكَأَيٍّ مِّن نَبِيٍّ قَاتَلَ, and many prophets fought. And here it says, and many prophets was killed. وَكَأَيٍّ مِّن نَبِيٍّ قُتِلَ.
I can't respond. I don't have like such knowledge.
You can read Arabic then. You can read.
Sorry?
You read Arabic.
I can't read. I can't read Arabic. I'm not speaking Arabic.
You don't.
Just seeking knowledge.
So in this Quran, right? These are Qira'ats, right? This is the Hafs Qira'at, and this is the Warsh Qira'at. In this one, in Surah 3:146, you know what surahs are, right? Yeah, it says many prophets was killed, right? And then in this Quran, it says many prophets fought. That's different. Prophet, some prophets fighting, some prophets was killed. So there's actually a difference in the words. Not all Qurans are actually the same.
Who after of this Quran?
This is the Hafs Qira'at. Hafs was a Qari.
Who?
Hafs.
Who wrote it?
Hafs. Imam Hafs.
It depends which, like some of Quran, they can like.
You can go to
Filming,
yeah. You can go to every single Quran you have of the Hafs of the Warsh. Every single Quran, they all have the same verse in.
So, which surah is it?
Surah 3:146. Yeah.
I don't know. Thank you so much.
This one as well, yeah.
So I'm gonna think about it.
Said, this is the difference, yeah. You wanted to speak. You wanted to speak on the difference. Why you couldn't like?
Yeah. You bring this book, for example. Which authority
Okay.
today produced this
Okay,
book?
can I tell
Islamic
you?
authority.
Can I tell you? You know who? First of all, do you know who Imam Hafs was and Imam Warsh?
I'm not talking about that.
They were Qadis.
I'm not talking about that.
It's their
Look,
Qira'at.
today in our society today as Muslims,
Right.
we need a body, authority in Islam that could tell us this is the Quran and this
Okay.
is not the Quran.
Yeah.
I could write this Quran and print it, but the authority will tell me bring it. We look at it,
Yeah, you can go to.
and then they give the.
Oh yeah.
They
Sorry.
could give the okay, yes.
Yeah,
So
you-
who printed this? Who
So
printed it?
this was on a website called Darussalah.com. Darussalah.com was an authenticated
For
website.
example, there is an authority in Saudi Arabia, Islamic authority.
yeah.
There is one in Syria, Egypt. So even not one make a decision. They come together.
Yeah.
They come together. and they agree.
Ibn Mujahid.
The Quran
Ibn
I have-
Mujahid.
One second. No, I'm not talking. Look,
Ibn
the Quran,
Mujahid was an
the
authority.
copy of the Quran I have today.
Yeah.
In the last page is written this Quran is approved by Saudi Arabia, Qatar,
Yeah.
Kuwait, Egypt.
Yeah,
Morocco.
these are confirmed by every single country. The
I don't
Moroccans,
think so. I don't think
the
so.
Turkish. They read different Qur'an. You read Arabic, sir. Here, okay. You can. What does this say? Waka. You can read it. من نبي قاتل and many prophets fought. Here it says وكأي من نبي قتل and many prophets was killed. Different. So do you agree it's different in Quran? See, your Muslim scholars are lying to you. Not every Quran is the same.
You have bigger variation in the Quran, right? In the Bible, right?
Oh, I don't care about variation. Doesn't affect the message. They don't affect the message of Christianity.
هذا طبع بتصريح الازهر. اكيد دول ثانيه كمان، هذا كمان شكله عنده تصريح ما ادري، لكن القران طباعه القران تحتاج تصريح على كل حال.
See, he's agreeing there's differences. So are you agreeing there's differences now?
Look, the Quran was revealed in 7 different
Dialects.
dialects. Yeah.
why did Ibn Jazari say there's 10?
In one dialect it's killed, and in one
Fought.
dialect
That's a difference.
fight.
That's a difference.
No, that's the way they were revealed.
So
Who made these differences? Not the people, it's Allah.
Muhammad gave that verse.
Okay, Muhammad. Okay. So what do you say? What's your problem?
So
then?
how? But
What's your problem?
okay. So show me now where Muhammad himself said that the Qira'ats, right, are about the words, because weren't they about accents, like recitations?
Look, do you know the narration? Akid, you know the. Sure, you know the narration, the story where Omar heard someone
Hisham.
praying and reciting the Quran.
Yeah, Hisham.
And he listened to him. Then when that guy
He
finished,
gripped him.
he grabbed him,
Yeah.
took him to the Prophet,
Yeah.
and said, "This guy is changing the Quran." And the Prophet said to him, "Read it to me." And then he said to Omar, "Read it to me."
Right.
And the Prophet said, "They were revealed in both ways."
But but how can such a big difference be in the preserved
The
tablet of Quran?
Prophet said they were revealed that way.
But there is a big difference.
It doesn't make any
No,
difference.
but, okay, you know who Ibn Mujahid was? Ibn Mujahid.
Okay, one second.
Ibn Mujahid. Let me make a point. Ibn Mujahid was one of the people who like canonized the 7 different Qur'ans. Can you show me like where Muhammad himself said like this is the differences in what it's about the differences? Yeah. So show me where it says like Muhammad. Show me where it says Muhammad told about the Qira'at. It's about the differences in words, not in recitation. Because recitation I understand,
Brother,
but there's differences in words and meaning.
Please understand. The Prophet he would sometimes recite the Quran to the companions in one dialect, and then he would do it in another dialect, and then he would do it in another dialect.
What were these dialects about? What did Muhammad say these dialects were?
They could have these things you call variations.
So they are
For
variations.
example, fight and killed, yeah.
But-
He did that. If Muhammad did it, you have no problem.
But no, who gave these? So my point. So Allah gave this revelation to Muhammad.
Yeah.
And Allah's telling Muhammad 7 different stories about different.
Yes.
That's contradictory. Why? So was it in
No,
Allah's
no,
preserved
no,
tablet?
no.
What does it say? Was he
We're not
killed?
like you.
Was it
The changes-
killed or was he fought?
The changes in the
It can't-
Bible, you made them. The Christian made them.
I agree there's variations in the Bible.
The variation in the Quran.
It doesn't affect the message of Christianity.
I'm not talking about
We agree with that. You guys
I'm
don't.
not talking about that. I'm talking about who made these changes in the Quran.
Ibn Jazari, after Ibn Mujahid, canonized 10 Qira'ats. Ibn Mujahid only canonized 7 Qira'ats. So who gave Ibn Jazari the authority to canonize 10 Qira'ats?
He learned it.
No.
He's there to learn, you know.
You said Muhammad canonized 7 Qira'ats, but Ibn Jazari, around the 15th century, something like that, canonized 10 Qira'ats. That's a big. So who gave?
What does canonize mean?
So you have Ibn Mujahid. He said the
Brought it down, you mean?
No, he said the 7 Qira'ats from the 7 Qaris, Imam Warsh, Imam Hafs, Imam Kala, these
Yeah,
Qaris.
yeah.
But Ibn Jazari, around the later on, canonized 10th Qira'ats. Which Qira'ats, which canonized version of the Qira'ats is right? The 10 Qira'ats or the 7 Qira'ats?
I don't know.
Who gave him the authority to canonize 10 Qira'ats?
I don't know. But anyway, do you think the Quran have this problem bigger than it is in the Bible?
Okay,
you
can I-
have a bigger problem there,
Okay,
right?
let me explain. So my premise is,
In your Bibles,
Yeah.
even some books are missing from another book.
like what?
Some books
Like
in
what?
the
What
in the
books?
Catholic Bible.
That's the Apocrypha.
The Catholic Bible-
That's the Apocrypha. We still hold to that as
Okay, which channel?
Revelation. Yeah, we still. You're running, yeah? Okay. You Muslim, brother? Okay. Let's wrap it like that. Because you know Ibn Mujahid, he canonized 7 Qira'ats. But Ibn Jazari canonized around 10 different Qira'ats. Who gave him the authority to canonize those Qira'ats? You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to get to him. No, I didn't wrap it. I didn't start from that. Alright, so we showed different Qur'ans. I went to many different Muslims and asked them if these Qur'ans are all the same. And these 2 Muslims, Said and the other Muslim, one of his friends, they actually had a disagreement. One said that Said was saying that all Qur'ans are the same, but the other Muslim was saying no, all these 2 Qur'ans are different. And then Said went on about the Qur'ans, the dialects which Muhammad so-called gave. But how is it possible where one verse, right, in the Hafs Qur'an and in the Warsh Qur'an has a different meaning? One says fought and one says killed. Which one was in the preserved tablet in heaven? How can 2 different verses from the same chapter, from different Qur'ans be in the preserved tablet of heaven? It's contradictory. Also, he told about the authority of the Qur'an. Ibn Jazari, later on, after Ibn Mujahid canonized 10 different Qira'ats, whereas Ibn Mujahid only canonized 7 different Qira'ats. And Ibn Mujahid didn't really know what these variations meant. He doesn't go into depth about these variations. So how? how can I follow Ibn Mujahid's words? Or how can I follow Ibn Jazari's words? And also, where did Ibn Mujahid said that, and Muhammad said that these so-called variations are about the words or about the recitation? Muhammad never specifically mentioned what these qira'ats really are. You know, what variations these are really about. So they have a dilemma on the different qira'ats of the Quran.